Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. I hope you're keeping safe and welcome to Yomi's Kitchen YouTube channel. If you are joining us here for the very first time at Yomi's Kitchen, hello, hi, welcome to the Yomi's Kitchen YouTube family. On our channel, we talk about recipes, tips, advice, and all things food. So if this is something that you'd love to learn more about, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification button as well, just so you know whenever a video of us goes live. And of course, to our subscribers, hey, thank you for joining us for yet again another video. So today on our channel, we're going to be doing something slightly different from what we usually do. Essentially, I'm going to be giving you a little tour or walkthrough about my new kitchen space. So if you don't know, we recently moved to Rugby and it's a whole different environment, a whole different setup. So I just wanted to show you like a sneak peek of how everything looks. So I'm just going to go straight in and show you how everything has been set up. Everything is still like a work in progress, and there will be some things that I move around definitely, or some things I change and add, but I just wanted to show you how it's been set up for now, sort of like first 2 months in after moving. So let's do it. I thought it would be cool to start from the very beginning, sort of as you step into the kitchen. It is an open plan kitchen, so my living room is just right next to it, but it is really spacious and I absolutely love it. So as you come into the door, you've got this like little space here where I've just like put my cleaning floor stuff, so my brush, everything I use, and I've got this like storage unit here as well. And I've got sort of like my onions in there, my rice, my pounded jam, and like a bit of my potatoes and bananas in there, and they're just really helpful. And then just right next to it is my fridge freezer. It is quite tall. I've got some like cooking stuff on top of there just because, like, girl, I have a lot of stuff. So I've got like my fridge right here, don't watch it. And then I've got my freezer as well. Ooh, stuck. But I've also got another freezer which I've put in my like storage place, and then I've got this little hook here where I've put my house keys and my car keys and whatnot. And so technically we're starting the kitchen already. And I've just put my microwave here. I've got my tea station. I told you about my love for tea. I've got my little tea station here. I've got my kettle. I've got all my mugs, some tissue paper there, and I've got like my tea, sugar, coffee. So I really wanted to get one of those cute little tea, sugar, coffee sets, right? And they were cute, but like they were selling them for £8, £10. Now, they're not expensive-ish, but for me, like, if you're trying to decorate your place for as little as possible, you tend to improvise. So I just bought these 3 little sets from, what's it called? Poundland. And I've got like my tea in there, and I just put like labels on them. So instead of spending £8, £10, 3 little things, I just bought £3 of them, and there we go. So they were £1 each, and I just labeled them, so very inexpensive. And then I've got this, so they're on top of this little like board things. So I have this, it's a CD rack, but I use it as a bookshelf, and they come in like loads of different pieces like this that separate the CDs and the books together. So I had quite a few spare ones, and I wanted to make like a contrast from sort of like my tea place to my actual cooking space. So I decided to just put that like on top of it and also behind it as well, which I think is really cute at the end of the day. So that's my little tea section right there. And just on top of it, I've got some shelves which are storing loads of different things. So just underneath the tea section, got more stuff for tea. Did I tell you guys that I love tea? Anyways, I've got more stuff for like tea, all the different bits and pieces that I use. And then just sort of like in this section I have like loads of tinned food stuff and like sauces and whatnot. So they're all like arranged according to how I usually use them, and with the ones that I don't usually use sort of at the end, and the ones that I usually use at the front. And then just on top of that, I've got like all my dried sort of like pasta, noodles and whatnot. In this section I've got like all the bits and pieces that I usually use for my noodles or my pasta, like the sauces. And then this part is usually filled with Indomie, hence this Indomie bit there. But like I've got another box sort of in my storage that I haven't opened. I usually try to finish everything first before I add in any more stuff. And then just on top of that, I've got like a little drink section just there with like some snacks. Don't watch that, I love my crisp. And then I've got this bit to house like a lot of my spices. So I've got loads of different things that are in this little box, in this little thing right here. I usually buy spices in bulk, so they usually come in like packets. So whenever I like pour bits into the ones that I'm using, I tend to just clip them and put them all in one little storage unit here. So these are all of the other bits and pieces that I use. So for Slim Husk, I've got okazi, I've got agusi in there. I hope you can see it. Agusi in there. I've got like beans. I've got beef leaf in there. I've got ogbono. I've got my curry. I've got jumbo right there. I've got thyme and all of those things. So these are this is the shelf for all of the like spices and whatnot that I usually buy in bulk, and I have them all out here. And then like I said on the top, I store like a bit of my tin foil stuff that I use, and trays that I use especially for like catering bits and pieces. So that's that shelf just there. And then I've got my little drawer here. So I've got two drawers. So this first drawer is essentially for miscellaneous stuff. So I've got my coasters, my placemat. I've also got bits and pieces, you know, just in case like you need stuff when you're like putting things together or disassembling things, like your little toolkit. I absolutely always have that in a little sewing kit because, to be honest, some things rip. Some like bulbs, like freezer bags, and usually foil paper, and what's it called, cling film that I usually like use for the oven, some batteries and whatnot. So there's just a few bits and pieces in there. Oh, and I've got some candles in there. And then this next one is where I have all of my cutlery. So I've got most of the cutlery that I have here I don't use every single time, so I have them in here. I've got my skewer sticks in here just because they're really handy. I've got my spoons, my forks, my knives. I've got my temperature, my thermometer to check. I've got my little teaspoons here, and I've got like other bits and pieces in this little section here. So I've got my measuring spoons, scissors, I've got a whisk, pizza cutter, a little what's it called, I used it to zest my lemons, can opener, and other bits and pieces that this lovely instrument is used for. And just on the bottom as well, there are two more drawers. So this place really has quite a bit of storage, which I really love, because like when you cook, you need a lot of them. So I've just like stored bits and pieces. This bit is like all of my flour and sugar and like baking stuff that I use. I don't really bake. I say baking, I don't really bake a lot, but I do use flour quite a bit, and sugar, especially for like my pastries and bits and pieces. So this part has like my oats, cereal, and bits of cereal over there. You can see like cornflakes. And then this part has like gari, and then like behind it is like amala, and then I've got like my funnels that I use. And so this top bit has like a lot of the equipment that I use all the time. So like my grater and my little juicer that I use to juice my lemons and like oranges and whatnot if I want like fresh juice. I've got a little hand blender here and like the other bits and pieces for the hand blender, and I've got my toaster in there. I don't usually use my toaster a lot, funny enough, but I do have a sandwich maker up in there that I use. Underneath it I have my deep fryer, which I don't use except for when I'm catering for like a lot of stuff, and then I whip it out. And then I've got like another sort of, technically I bought it as a smoothie maker, but I kind of just use it now to grind like a lot of my dried ingredients. So like if I've got like whole egusi or whole ogbono or like whole crayfish, I just like grind them all in here. And then I've got my pots. So my pots, you take up most of this part of the space. So I've got like all my massive pots in here, and like some do fit underneath each other, which is great, while others don't, which is not great. So that's why there's like two sections. But this is my catering pots that I use all up in here, and I've got like my measuring jug and like just bits and pieces that I use also for my catering business. So that's that drawer there, and then we're gonna go straight up into the cooking area. Well, this is my little electric hob. So in my other house I had a gas hob, which I absolutely adored. So I am just getting used to an electric hob, but it's not so bad. It does get hot quite quick, which is really good. So just in front of my hob I've got my chopping board and just there. So my hob, you've got my oven in there. So this is actually my next favorite thing I'd have. So I usually use my cooking rack a lot, so I just have it just behind there. But I bought this lovely, it's kind of like one of my guilty pleasures. I bought this lovely spice rack just because in my previous place, so if you noticed in my previous videos, I had like two baskets kind of like next to each other on either side of my stove. But I decided to, look all fancy and whatnot, and I bought this spice rack on eBay, which was really, 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 really like inexpensive, and I think it was like £19 or something on eBay, but I can put the link like below if you're interested. But essentially it comes with the rack and it comes with all of the little spice bottles like this, and I just put like labels on top of them so I know which one it is. But essentially they look really, really nice. And if I just open, let's see if I can open it. So they all come with like this kind of opening, which is really good to, help you measure all the bits and pieces and whatnot. But if not, you can just take it out, like that's no problem whatsoever. So yeah, so that's my little spice rack here. I've got, this is a rack for 20, so it's got 20 spices all filled out here. So I've got my my herb spices in this angle. I've got like my peppers here, like salt, crayfish, cardamom, all those beautiful good stuff, and curry, mixed thyme and whatnot. So that's my lovely spice rack, which is cool. And then just here I've got like all of my cooking spoons that I use like literally almost every time. So I have them in here instead of like in the drawer, so I can usually just like pick it up. So I have it on the right side just because I'm right-handed, and it's easier for me to like grab stuff with my right hand and use. But obviously if you're left-handed, do exactly like what is comfortable for you. And then I got a lovely, beautiful new knife set that my amazing husband purchased for me, and I just put it right next to my 7 spoons, and they have been really, really good. So like it comes with all of the knives that you need, and just next to it is like a little I have this like little wooden tray thing that I bought. It's like a wooden chopping board, but I bought it in like 99p store, and it's really, really cute. so I thought it would be really like nice to put my oils in there. So I've got my cooking oil, I've got like the little frying oil at the end, and I've got my bottle of soy sauce just here. And then there are some spices that would not go into my little spice rack. They just kind of have to be there, especially like my pink salt and my black pepper that needs to be grinded. So I just have them there, and obviously liquid Maggi seasoning is just here. So I just put them here because I thought that would be really, really cute, and it's really easy as well because I can just sort of like grab it and use it to cook whilst I'm here. And then of course I have my blender. So I try to ensure that I only put like the instruments. I call them instruments. I only put like my instruments that I usually work with like almost every single day, and that would be like my kettle, my microwave as you've seen, and like my blender. I use my blender like almost every day, so it has to be out here. So I've got it just right here next to everything, and then I've just got like a bottle of water out because I drink water so much, so I just have it out there. And like I also have like another wooden board that I just sort of put it behind it because I thought it looks really nice and like gives it that contrast. Because if you can see, like the kitchen is quite like creamy, whitish sort of thing, so I wanted everything to really blend in, but I did want like bits of contrast, like with the black and the brown, the woody kind of like chopping board and whatnot. So this bit here, I didn't particularly like this bit just because like it has like, so this is the boiler essentially, and it has like all these things there that I know is needed, but I don't like it in terms of like it didn't look very pretty. So I tried to like take the attention away from all of that. So I've got this like fake flowers in here, which I put under like a see-through kind of like chopping board. I've got a little candle, and I've got like, so it's in this little vase. My really good friends like bought me a bouquet of flowers with chocolate and whatnot, and they came in this, and they know me. I don't throw things like away until I know that I can absolutely positively don't have any more use for it. And so I decided to recycle and use it for something else, and it looks really cute here. So I have the flowers here, and then I have like where I put my bread. So you know about the agege bread, but I'm also a big fan of brioche. So I've got my brioche here, and I've just got like a little decorating thing, that says love bears all, believes in things, hope all things, endures all things, love never ends, because I'm cute like that. So next to this part, I've got my mortar and my pestle, where I can use to like grind quite a lot of spices together, and I use that also quite often. And I've just got this like lovely cookbook that I was gifted as a house present when I moved to my other house, my previous house, and it's just, I feel like it's so nice to have it just there, because I've seen quite a few of these videos, like they just like open the cookbook, and I think it's so cool. So I decided to try my own in it. I decided to try my own, and I think it looks absolutely adorable. And some of the recipes there are really easy, really simple to make. So this is my sort of like cleaning section right next to that. So I've gone to my sink. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. So on this section here, right underneath it is another storage place where I put all of my actual pots that I use to cook on a like regular basis. So I've got my wok and my frying pans in the top, and I've got my cooking pots in the bottom. I've got my palm oil here just because palm oil thickens up, so it's not something you can put in a bottle in a glass bottle and like try to, it's not that liquidy, especially in this temperature, so it's quite difficult to put it in. So I've just got it here, and then I've got like my pots and like some bowls that I usually use to like wash stuff, meat and etc. yeah, so I've got my washing machine here too. And then, so this is, like I said, this is the cleaning section. I got this little thing, I don't even know what to call it, but it's really really good. I've just put my soap that I use. I've got my wipes right next to me, iron sponge and sponge right next to my sink. I always have 2 sponges, so I have one that I use to actually wash my plates and one that I use to like wash my sink and like this area a bit as well, just to keep it as clean as possible. So essentially this is what it looks like. And then I've got my plates rack where all of the bits and pieces that I wash are stored and dried. So just underneath my sink I've got like a little shelf there. You know, this is not the pretty part, so we tried to make it as organized as possible. So I've got just like cleaning supplies in this little basket thing, and I've got like a basket as well of like where I put my water and whatnot. So that's kind of how it looks like. And then just underneath this part as well, I've got sort of like a cloth I use to wipe my hands when I finish washing. And then there's also a storage unit there where you guessed it, I store all of my spices, every sort of thing that I use to cook. I store them in here. So whenever like any of my spices sort of finish in the other cabinets, I don't need to go into my storage place to pick up. So I've got like my tea stuff. You guys thought I was joking about this tea, but anyway, I've got my tea stuff at the bottom. I've got some loads and loads of spices and cooking stuff as well, just like on the top, and it's like all arranged according to how I usually use them. So essentially this is it. I'm usually stocked up, so I like to buy in bulk, like I said, so that I'm not going to the shops like every week or every month. I usually stock up for like 3 months, at least 3 months, especially with like spices and whatnot that I know that don't really like take a long time to expire. So I always have them here, and I usually just buy the fresh stuff like every single time when I need it. So essentially this is clean area, and then just next to it I've got like a little bag I use for like my recycling, and I've got my bin. So, and I've got my clock here and some Christmas decorations, and I love how the window is right here because it really gives it like a airy feel into the kitchen, and it's quite bright. So I'm just gonna give you a quick tour from this angle. So that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it. And if of course you want us to make more videos like this, talking about the kitchen space and how to organize things and repurposing things and recycling stuff and using stuff in your kitchen, or how to set things up in your kitchen, then definitely let me know in the comments below, and I will make sure to add many more videos in, because I do have quite a lot of ideas about these kind of videos. So definitely let me know. But for now, make sure you stay safe, eat well, and I will see you